One version of the Super-Soldier Serum created a hero.
Just slipped out.
The exact same idea created monsters. And one experiment didn't just enhance a human, it created something that shouldn't even exist. Let's start with the one that proves this was never about the formula: Red Skull. Red Skull was the first person we see take a version of the serum. Not Steve Rogers, not a hero, him. And the crazy part is, it actually worked. It gave him everything it was supposed to give: strength, endurance, resilience. But it didn't stop there. It amplified who he already was. And that's the part people underestimate, because the serum doesn't build a personality, it exposes it. Red Skull was already obsessed with power and control, so when the serum hit his system, it didn't make him better. It made him worse, stronger body, more dangerous mind.
You see, I was his greatest success!
And physically, his body couldn't stabilize the transformation. His face didn't just change, it deteriorated. Not because the serum was broken, but because he was. That's the first rule of the Super-Soldier Serum. It doesn't create anything new. It reveals what's already there.
We fought to the last man.
Evidently not.
Captain America. Captain America is the only real success. Not because the formula was perfect, but because he was.
Grenade! Get away!
Steve Rogers didn't want power. He wanted to do the right thing. That's it. And that's why it only worked once. Because the serum didn't twist him. It aligned with him. His strength increased. His speed improved. His reactions became sharper. But the most important part, he stayed in control. No instability, no mutation, no loss of identity. He didn't become something unnatural. He became the peak of what a human could be. And that's why it worked. Because the serum doesn't decide the outcome, the person does.
Pick on somebody your own size.
Winter Soldier is what happens when control becomes more important than success. He's stronger, faster, more durable, but he's not free. He's controlled, reprogrammed, used. The serum didn't create a hero, it created a weapon. And then there's Isaiah Bradley. His body handled the serum, but everything around that process was broken, tested, pushed, discarded, and that's the part people don't like to talk about. Because while Steve Rogers became a symbol, Isaiah was erased.
You know what they did to me for being a hero?
Same serum, same potential, completely different outcome. Not because of science, but because of the system behind it.
Oh, shit.
And that's where the Super Soldier program stops being about creating heroes and starts becoming something else entirely. Green Goblin. Green Goblin didn't take a clean injection. He inhaled a chemical version of the serum, and the result was immediate. His strength increased, his reflexes sharpened, his physical abilities went way beyond normal human limits. But his mind didn't adapt. It fractured.
Back to formula.
The serum didn't just enhance his brain, it overloaded it. And that's why he's so dangerous.
We'll meet again, Spider-Man!
Because he's not just strong, he's unpredictable. He reacts without restraint, without logic, without control. And that combination is far more dangerous than raw power alone. Hulk wasn't even supposed to be a success. A mix of gamma radiation and a flawed serum attempt. And what came out of that was something completely different. His strength doesn't have a ceiling. The angrier he gets, the stronger he becomes. But there's a trade-off: control. Because the more power he gains, the less human he becomes. And then there's Abomination. He wanted more power, more strength, more dominance, and his body paid the price. His structure changed, his bones reshaped, his entire form mutated. At that point, it's not enhancement anymore, it's transformation. And once that line is crossed, there's no going back. The world finally developed a version that looked perfect. The serum used by the Flag Smashers. No visible mutation, no physical damage, no instability, just clean enhancement. Stronger, faster, better. And that sounds like the solution, but it isn't, because now there are no visible consequences.
I think we had enough time to talk.
You will not
Why don't you
civil-
come-
Anyone can take it. Anyone can become enhanced. And that removes the one thing that used to keep it in check: limits. And up to this point, every version of the serum still follows the same rule. It enhances a human. Stronger, faster, more dangerous, but still human. And then, someone breaks that rule completely. Sentry. Sentry didn't take a normal version of the serum. He took something that was never meant to exist. A formula said to be 100,000 times more powerful than the one that created Captain America. And he didn't take it to become a hero. He took it to feel something, to escape. And that's where everything goes wrong. Because this serum doesn't just enhance the body, it rewrites it. His strength isn't measurable anymore. There's no upper limit, no clear scale. He doesn't just lift more. He operates on a completely different level of reality. But the real problem isn't the power. It's what came with it, the void. Not a side effect, not a separate entity, a direct consequence, a part of him. Which means every time he uses his power, he risks unleashing something that destroys everything around him. Not because it wants to.
You're safe, little one.
But because it exists. That's the difference between every other version of the serum and this one. All the others tried to enhance a human. This one replaced him. There's no balance, no stability, no version where you control it. Because the more power he uses, the less of him is actually left.
You can't outrun the emptiness.
And that's the final evolution of the Super-Soldier Serum. Not a hero, not a weapon, not even a monster. Just something that shouldn't exist, walking around in human form.
We're all alone. All of us.